Hi everyone. Today we're going to be making a Google slide presentation that we're going to publish to the web and make for kind of like a clickable interactive open house for the parents. And the cool thing about this is that as the year goes on, if you need to update anything, you can update it and it automatically updates on your web page. So you don't have to keep republishing or upgrading or anything like that. It automatically does it for you. So the first thing you're going to want to do is sign into your Google Drive, and I like to get on my personal Google Drive, not my work-related one. The reason I do this is because my work one has restrictions, and if you're using it with restrictions in place, then when people go to view your published slides, it's going to ask them to request access. So if you sign in under a personal email account, it can be open to everybody if you take off those restrictions. So we're going to go to New, and we're going to do Google Slides. And the first thing I like to do anytime I open up a slide presentation is I like to organize it. So I click off the themes, I make my layout blank, and then I go to File, Page Setup, and instead of having it widescreen, I have it standard. I just think this looks nicer. It's your preference. You can do whatever you want, but this makes things like a blank slate for me, and I really like that. The next thing you're going to want to make sure that you add on, if you go up to this little add-ons and you go to get add-ons, you're going to type in flat icon, and I'm going to show you why. So this add-ons are great. There's tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of different add-ons. I have some of them. I don't have all of them, obviously, but I'm going to type in flat icon. And I already have it installed, but I'll show you. So when we click on it, there's going to be a bar here that says to install. Basically, flat icon lets you find all these little icons and you can add them into your slides or your sheets. You can customize the colors. And we're going to be using this to find a home icon today. All right, so we X'd out of that after we installed it, and now we have our first slide. The slides are going to be numbered over here on the left. I always make the first slide my master slide. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you can play around with the background. For this, we're just going to be really basic today. So for a background, you could either insert an image. So you could choose an image and you could upload it from your computer, take a picture with your camera, go by a URL, which is the web address, look in your photos, look on your Google Drive, or look at your Google image search. So just for the sake of this, I'm going to look for a cloud background. And I can pick one of these pictures and I can make it my background. So let's say I pick this one. And I'm going to insert, and this is now going to be my background. If I want this to go on every single slide, I could pick add to theme. And that means that every slide that I press, anytime I want a new slide, is going to have this same theme. I'm not going to do that right now. So starting on my first page, I might decide that I need a picture of myself. The easiest way to do this is to just go to your desktop. I have a picture already here, and I'm going to just drag it in. You could also go to Insert, Image, and you could search the web for an image, or you could upload from the computer. But I like to just drop and drag it in whenever I can. So there I am. I'm going to put me over here. You could also play around with the size. So it kind of looks like I'm in the clouds right now. And again, this is just a tutorial for you. This is not what my actual one looks like. So now I have my first page, and now I have to decide how many other different pages I want. So I might say that I want an all about me page, I want a curriculum page, and I want a schedule page. I'm going to go up here to the plus sign, and I'm going to add a new, and I'm going to, again, make sure my layout is blank, then add another one, then add another one. So now I have 3 slides so far. Each slide I can now customize however I want to. So I could go to the background. Let's say for the background, I just want to do a color this time and I want it to be light blue. And this is going to be my All About Me slide. So I'm going to make a text box that says All About Me. Didn't need the box that big. I can change the font, and if you're new to Google Slides, up here where it tells you all the fonts you can have, you can go to more fonts and you can scroll around, and anything that you see that's a fun font or that you think looks like a fun font, so like cabin, able, you can press OK, and now it adds that font over here. And I can play around with the size of my title. I can come over here to align it. I always like to align in the middle. So there's my All About Me. And then I could add another text box. And here's where I could type in All About Me. And I could say something like, my favorite store is Target. If I even wanted to see if they have an image, I could go to Insert Image, search the web. Let's see what comes up if I search for Target. Perfect. I can drag and drop, or I can click it and insert. There we go. My favorite store is Target. So I'm going to do the next two slides. I'm going to pause for a minute, and when I come back, the next two slides will be done and we can talk about linking. Okay, so as you can see, I finished up the other couple slides. So I did a schedule one and what will we be learning. So now I'm going to pretend that this is my entire presentation. And again, if I was doing this for a real open house, it would look very different. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go back to my master slide. And in my clouds, I need 3 clouds, one to link to All About Me, one to link to my schedule, and one to link to what we are learning. So I'm going to insert an image, and I'm going to search the web, and I'm going to search for clouds. And I always like to put PNG at the end because those are the transparent ones. They won't have a background, and maybe instead of clouds, I should just search for cloud. Okay. So I'm going to choose this guy. He looks like he has a white background. Let's see. Nope, he's transparent. So I'm going to drag him in. All right, so there's a cloud. And I'm going to put one cloud here, one cloud here, and I'll put one cloud here. So now I have these 3 clouds. And here comes the part where we're going to link things. So on this cloud, this is going to be my All About Me cloud. I'm going to add a little text box just above the cloud that says All About Me. And when you finish your text box, kind of squeeze it in. Make sure that you don't have tons of empty room, and you'll see why in a couple minutes. You don't have to make it so that it's all squished like this, but you just want to have it so that it fits perfectly, the best it can fit all around it. I'm going to copy this because I'm going to make another one over here, and I'm going to make this cloud be my schedule. And then, oops. And then I'm going, oops. Sometimes you just gotta play around with it. Then I'm going to make one more. And this is going to be for my curriculum. Okay. So now I know what I want each cloud to be. And here comes the part where we're going to link it. So you can link words. The way you would link words is you would highlight the words and you would press this little insert link button, and it will ask you where you want to link it to. But I much prefer to link a picture because I think people like to click a picture more. So I'm going to click this cloud, and I'm going to either do one of 2 things. I can either insert link, or I can go up to the little chain link up here, and just press it. And it's going to ask where I want to link this to. I could link it to a website, or I can link it to a slide in this presentation, which is what I want to do. So I'm going to link it to a slide in this presentation. And you can always do next and last slide, but I like to go by the slide numbers. So All About Me is slide number 2, so I'm going to link this to slide number 2. Click 2, you press apply. I'm going to link this little cloud schedule to slide number 3 because that's where schedule is. Apply. And I'm going to do the same thing with this cloud. I'm going to link it to slide number 4 because that's where I have the schedule. Now it's linked to slide number 4. Okay, so now that everything is linked, one really important detail. If you're going to put your words in, make sure that they're somewhere towards the top or something. If you put them right in the middle, sometimes, I mean, these pictures are big enough so it won't really matter, but sometimes if you have a smaller picture and the words are taking up as much space, if not more of the picture, then when people actually go to click, they can't click because the words are over the picture and the picture is what's clickable. So just make sure that wherever you put your text box, it leaves room for people to click the picture. And that's also why I say to kind of use these blue arrows and drag it in, because if I kept my box like this and had this really huge text box, when I put it over the cloud, it basically covers the entire cloud. So if anybody wanted to click this cloud to get to the All About Me, they'd have to click one of these little tiny pieces, and that just doesn't work. So make sure that you tighten it up. You don't have to have the words on your picture. I just kind of like it. All right, so now we're all linked. And here comes the cool part. Here comes that add-on I was telling you about. You're going to go to add-ons, and you're going to see it's going to come up here, icons for slides and docs. And you're going to click on it and press start. And now this is going to come up on the right, little menu of things. And I'm going to search for icons, and I want a home icon. And it gives me all of these suggestions to go back to my home page. So I kind of like this little house because he looks like a little sketched house. And you could make it whatever color you wanted. I'm going to keep it navy blue, I think. So find a blue that I kind of like. And okay. And now I'm going to insert. And I really don't need it on this slide because this is the home screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this and I'm going to put it on my next slide, the All About Me slide. So now I have the little home icon. I always put it in the bottom right. I know some people put it in the bottom left. Some people put it in the top. It's really up to you. It's your preference. You can put this wherever you wanted. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to link this to the first page. So slides in this presentation, first slide. And then I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to go to my next slide, schedule, I'm going to press paste. And my next slide, schedule, and I'm going to press paste. And you'll see that even when I pasted it on different slides, the link still stayed the same. And you'll see why this is important at the end. If you want to write home or if you want to make a little text box and write home, you can do that. Just make sure, again, that you don't have your text box covering your picture completely. So now that we're done, and I'm going to give my presentation a title. What I can do is I can go into present mode and just make sure everything works okay. So it showed me on schedule. If I press this, you'll see that it turns from a cursor into the little pointy finger, and I can press home and it brings me home. I can press the curriculum cloud and it brings me to curriculum, home. I can press the All About Me cloud. It brings me to All About Me. Press the schedule cloud. It brings me to the schedule. So everything seems to be working. So now what I can do is you, of course, could put this in present mode and just, give yourself like an in-person open house or something. But what I like to do is publish it. So we're going to go to File, and we're going to go to Publish to the Web. And I'm going to just press Publish. I don't need to press anything else. It's going to ask me, I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure. And then it gives you this huge, long link to share. And I just think this link is really bulky, and to get somebody to type in all those things and remember it is kind of hard. So it says press Command and C to copy. So I'm going to press Command C, and now I have copied this link, and I'm going to show you a little trick. There's a free website called tinyurl.com. And what you do on tinyurl is you enter a long URL that you want to make tiny. So I'm going to click in this box, and I'm going to press Paste. And in this box now is that huge link that you just saw. And what I'm going to do, I could press Make Tiny URL and they will make one for me. Or I can try to make my own. So I'm going to say, let's see, slides tutorial. And then I'm going to press Make Tiny URL. And voila. Now, instead of going to this huge link, I can say, visit me at tinyurl.com/slides tutorial. And I'm going to show you what this looks like. So I copied it to my clipboard. I'm going to go right up here in the web address, and I'm going to paste. And when I click on it, I now have a website. And you can see that people can click, and it will take them to all the different pages and bring them back to my home page. They could technically, in the bottom left, use this as a slideshow if they didn't want to click around. But now it's on the web. And whatever I change, so I'm going to go back here, and let's say I changed my background color from yellow to, let's do lime green. If I go up here back to my page and I press refresh, it's now lime green. It all changes, and it changes in real time. So this really helps because you don't have to reinvent the wheel, especially from year to year. So I made one last year, or for this year, and I made it for tinyurl.com/all about Marshall. And you'll see when I click on it that I have all my little buttons. These were just circles, and I picked different colors for each of the circles. So I have all my little buttons, and no matter what I press, I can always come home. Expectations, I can always go home. Oops, I moved that one while we were talking. Contacts, I come home. And then I even have one for remote learning. And I linked each of these pictures to something. And that can link back to remote learning home, or I can go to the regular home. So the cool thing about this in Google Drive is that you can basically just keep linking and linking and linking and linking until you have something that you really like. So I hope this helped you, and have fun making it.